There are still plenty of good Pokemon cards out there to collect, and in this video, we are going to break down the top 10 cards that I'm collecting heading into 2026. With the market stagnating right now and the panic and fear kind of setting in for at least some of us, this is a great opportunity to explain why I'm going into some of these cards and it help teach you guys to recognize, hey, these are good entry points, or hey, these are good opportunities to maybe buy in and add to your collection. And we're going to talk about some of the things you can do when you have those cards with respect to grading or trading or anything like that. So if that interests you, stick around. My name is Steve. This is Steel City Stacks. I have a Pokemon card store that I started online about half a year ago at this point. I've been on YouTube for about 2 months now. I've been making some fun content. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far. We've had some just awesome growth and it's just been really fun to make content here. A little side note, had a really exciting moment tonight when I was recording some of the daily wheel spin giveaways where I had a pretty big hit that I was giving away, and I'm a little disappointed I couldn't keep it for myself, but we sent that off to the winner, and I'm sure it's going to be a very happy moment for them whenever they see it. But yeah, definitely fun. If you guys are interested in the giveaways that I do, I have a whole playlist of shorts and explanation of how to enter, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But you clicked on this video because you guys want to learn about some of the stuff that I am getting into heading into 2026. Now, we still have 2 full months to get into, the whole nitty gritty holiday season, 20th or 30th anniversary and all this other stuff. But I want to take a quick second and give some background of what this video is going to do so that you guys can kind of follow along with me, because it is going to be a little bit of a teaching moment. We're going to flip the camera around. We're going to do some stuff on the computer again so I can show you everything that I'm seeing. And yeah, so let's just get straight into that. So first and foremost, why are we doing this? Well, the market right now, at least in certain spots, is stagnating. And all this talk is on the new stuff with Destined Rivals, with Mega Evolution, Black and White, Surging Sparks, Prismatic, of course. All of the attention is focused there. That is not where we are going to be talking about at all. We are going to be attacking a set that is very much overshadowed by all of these sets. And specifically, there are a bunch of cards in this set that definitely speak out to me and are extremely valuable. Now, you might have guessed already, especially by the thumbnail of this one, but we're going to be mainly talking about Temporal Forces. And I know it's not the most popular set, but as I explain, I think you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. So before we flip the camera around, let me do some explaining. The main purpose of this is to teach you guys and to help show you, hey, there are things out there that you can attack. If you pay attention and you monitor card prices and trends and everything else, you're going to be able to identify, hey, this is something I might be able to get into, And even if, okay, just roll with me here for a second. Even if you don't want it long term, maybe you don't want these cards in like a long term type of sense, you can always just buy in low, because all of these are buy low candidates for sure, at least in some capacity, relatively speaking. You're able to just sit there and let that accumulate, and then you can start trading up into more valuable cards. Maybe you want a gold card from Crown Zenith, Maybe you just let stuff build up. Maybe you grade some of these cards, because grading is going to be an aspect that we talk about in this one. Maybe you do that, and then you're able to move up a tier and you can get those gold cards. Maybe you go crazy and you're able to flip it for, I don't know, the Shinji Kanda Magikarp or something, like, you know what I mean? Just like whatever that you might want. So that's definitely an aspect that I want to kind of focus on, because there's a lot that you can do with it, and you can just straight up appreciate the cards as well. I mean, that to be honest with you guys, that's mainly what I'm going to be doing. Whether or not I'm going to grade them, that's a different story. Grading is a whole other animal, and I can make a whole separate video about that. But to be honest with you guys, I'm not very good at identifying a PSA 10. You know what I mean? Like, I know the qualifications to get a PSA 10, but it's tough to kind of pick that out and have such a high gem rate. I'm not really batting a very high percentage when it comes to that, and it's just part of the learning experience. but at least I know how it works. And you guys probably have your own version of being able to grade. So when we go through this, I want you guys to be able to identify some of the stuff that I'm seeing so that you can also make those plays. If you want to hold it just for, your own collection's sake because they're cool cards, that's great. If you want to buy them because you also think that you can like move up and then get like, an ETB or a booster box or a PC ETB or whatever that you might want, or another card, fine. If you want to just straight invest it long term because you think it's going to last that long, also, sure, go ahead and do that. But the point of this is just to teach you guys and to help you guys identify some of the potential things that I see so that we can all kind of do this together and you guys can just learn and grow with me. So with that said, let's flip the camera around and let's get into that top 10. All right, guys, we are going to get straight into this one. So number 1 on this list, and this is in no particular order. This is just like my top 10, just the cards that I'm overall targeting. Now, is first and foremost is the Raging Bolt EX from Temporal Forces. This card is an SIR. It's currently going for about $69, so about call it like $70. $66.99 here. There's 6 available. And you guys can kind of see like the main theme that we're going to be talking about. I made a video like this talking about the booster boxers at one point, but I just want you guys to be able to see this graph. This is prorated out to a year. This is just as far back as I can go on TCG Player. And of course, I'm just going to be using the TCG Player prices. You guys can look on eBay, probably find it for cheaper, more expensive, whatever it is. This is just one site. So take that for what you will. But for this one, you guys can see the price right now is at a 12-month low or 1-year low, however you want to say it. That is your key indicator right there of, hey, maybe I should pay attention to this. This card was at its peak $108. It is currently, again, $66.99. There are 166 available on TCG Player at the moment. This is the top card from Temporal Forces. And before you say anything, oh, Temporal Forces isn't the best set ever. Oh, it wasn't printed that much. Well, I'm just saying there's an opportunity here. In terms of gradability, the PSA 10 data, everything comes straight from PSA. There's a 47.7% shot that it will be a PSA 10. That is grading in PSA 8, 9, and 10. There's 3,412 PSA 10s, which whenever you account for the price to actually acquire the card, grade the card, get it back, you're looking at a return of potentially 155% if you decide to grade this and it comes back in a 10. That does not include any of the selling fees, listing fees, cuts, anything like that. That is just what the card's worth. You could also just trade it in for value or whatever that you would want. But Raging Bolt EX, definitely the first one on the list. Number 2, Walking Wake EX. This is also a special illustration rare. Currently going for $39.99. Same store here. This Mystic TCG has 5 of them. Look again, guys, all-time low. You can see it's been stagnating around the same price since June 16th, roughly. Now, at its peak, this card was $66.83. It has fallen considerably, but the amount of sales have gone up. There are 103 available on TCG Player. PSA data on this one, 2,312 PSA 10s. That is a 50.3% shot at getting the PSA 10, which is worth $151. I forgot to mention the Raging Bolt, the PSA 10. Raging Bolt PSA 10 was $235, but Walking Wake PSA 10 going right now $151. That's a 132% increase. Again, not counting for anything. I'm not going to say it after this. Just keep that in mind as we go along. You can kind of double your money here, more than likely, if you're able to get a 10 in the Walking Wake, and it has a decently high gem rate compared to other things that we're going to be talking about. Number 3, Gouging Fire. You guys can see a pattern here, correct? Special illustration rare. Currently going for $34 to call it $35 here. Once again, 12-month low. At its peak, $54. Currently, again, about $36, $35, $36. So about what? $18 off the high, $16 off the high, roughly somewhere around that range. Data for this one, PSA 10, 2,156. It's a 49% PSA 10 rate at $117.50. It's about the average and last sold. Not too bad. You can get a decent chunk back for that one. Pretty good. About a 92% kickback if you're able to get this in a 10. And to be honest, guys, I like the Paradox Pokemon. I think they're highly detailed. I mean, this one especially, the Raging Bolt, absolutely. Walking Lake, very nice. Colors really pop on it. And the Gouging Fire, this is a hero Pokemon. I don't know if anyone watches the Horizon anime whatsoever, but this is one of the 6 heroes. It's pretty cool. Very much dig it quite a bit. Definitely the most powerful for sure. But that doesn't have that big of a return. But again, 12-month low, very easy buy. Number 4, Iron Crown. Yes, I am doing this, guys. I'm sorry. This one going for about what, $45, $46 roughly. 12-month low. Look at that. Crazy. At its peak, $79 back around the holiday season-ish, right before then, Christmas time, 2024. Currently $45.47, around that range. Not too bad. There are 138 available currently on TCG Player. There's 3,322 PSA 10s with a gem rate of 52.4%. PSA 10s are selling for 147. That's a 107.3% increase on your investment if this comes back in a 10. That's not too bad. I really like the color pop on this one too. It's standing on the tree with the moon in the background. Very cool. I know the Swords of Justice don't really get that much love, but you know, even the Paradox versions of these, I like them quite a bit. So number 5, Iron Leaves EX. Yes, again, guys, I'm telling you, this is a theme. This is another SIR. This card is currently going for $27.59. Not terrible. Once again, Mystic TCG, 6 of these cards. I have a lot of these, as I noticed while I was prepping for this. There are 125 available, and look again, guys. Little pop-up, love that. Look again, guys. 12-month low. Big shock there. Big shock. At its peak, $38. You can get it again for about $27.59. It's not too bad. PSA 10, 1,783 and a 10. That's a 48.8% PSA 10 rate or gem rate. They are going for about $110. Make about 110% off of that one. Not terrible. This one definitely, you know, not as popular for sure. Not nearly as many graded, not as much as the Iron Crown, which is fairly popular. But Iron Leaves, you know, if you like it, you want to collect the set, you can definitely go for it. I like the jagged peaks here on this, and then the jagged peakedness of, you know, the body of Iron Leaves EX. It goes very well together. The colors go very well together. Once again, the moon is in the background. I like that quite a bit. Number 6, Iron Boulder EX, another special illustration rare from Temporal Forces. This one by far the cheapest. You can get this one for about $18.19. Once again, Mystic TCG has 7 of them. There are 143 available. I sound like a broken record. This is a 12-month low. Highest peak was $21.90. Currently, again, $18.19. Not crazy. PSA 10, there's 959 in a 10 with a 47.8% PSA 10 rate. Not great, honestly. But if you want the set, you know, PSA 10 is going for $97.56. That is a 126% gain. Again, not counting fees. I know I was going to say that, but not counting fees, not counting the grading, like all that stuff, the selling fees, everything. Something to keep in mind. But if you want all of them, I mean, we just went through all 3 of the Paradox, or the Scarlet ones, exclusive ones, and then the Violet exclusive ones. But we're here for some of the other stuff too. So number 7, the Gengar EX Full Art from Temporal Forces. And this one's interesting. This one is very, very, very interesting. Currently is going for about $38.40, roughly. Um, there are some that have sold. There's currently only 79 available on TCG Player, and you can see the graph on this one is a little bit different. You could have gotten this card back in October 14th of 2024 for $12.10. It's currently going for $42, or well, $38.40, but some of the current price, or like the last listed prices, are around 42. Now you'll notice what I said about this one. This one is a full art card, but it's a Gengar, right? And we're staying away from the Morty's Conviction, which has a Gengar in it and is an SAR, which is actually like, this is slightly cheaper than the SAR, this full art version, but this Gengar is a little special. It's not only the most expensive full art in terms of some of the or most of the Scarlet Violet sets, but the PSA data is on, is very noticeable. There are 3,758 PSA 10s out of a total of 7,525 total cards available of 8s, 9s, and 10s. That is a gem rate of 49.9%. Not bad. A PSA 10 right now is $266 though. Let me repeat that. PSA 10 of the Gengar EX full art from Temporal Forces is $266. It has a almost 50% on the nose gem rate. Out of everything we talked about so far, only the Walking Wake and Iron Crown EX have a gem rate that is higher than this Gengar. And this Gengar in a PSA 10 is $266. That's crazy. You have a 319% gain. If you can buy this, grade it, do everything with it. This is a card I am going to be attacking so much if I can find it. I ran into one today. I could tell right away it was not going to be a 10. The centering wasn't that great. It was nicked in a couple corners. Be on the lookout for this card. I know it's at a peak, and it's unlike the previous 6 that we did. But this card has some insane potential, and if it is going to be a main figure in some of these future sets, like Shadowstorm potentially, that's a leak name, this card could go crazy. And that little bump there might be, like you might miss out here. It could go down lower. Maybe it'll hit $35, $30 again, maybe. But honestly, I don't mind paying the extra like $5 or $10 just to acquire this and then potentially grade it. I think it's a smash. Number 8, one that's probably going to surprise a lot of people, the Arbok IR from Temporal Forces. Did you guys know that this Arbok, a Kanto original 151 Pokemon, this is the only illustration rare card of this Pokemon, like period. Not only is its name Cobra spelled backwards, this is the only actual artwork card other than the full art card, which is, like no one really wants this aside from this Gengar that we literally just talked about. So not only is that Arbok just, singular and unique, it's also an incredibly cool card. I mean, look at this thing. Look at the leaves, how the leaves and the vines on this are all like twisting around the branches. Arbok clearly like wrapping itself around the branch, about to attack this toucan in here. The little scary eyes that look like hearts almost in there, if you can see, with a little arrow pointing towards it. It's ready to attack. It's awesome. This Arbok is iconic with Team Rocket, but it is what it is. This card going for about $16.80 roughly when you count for the shipping there. There's only 147 available, which is, interesting. PSA 10 data, 1,452 PSA 10s for a 49.7% gem rate. It's not terrible. PSA 10s are selling for $117.30. You could say that's about 180% of an increase that you guys could do with that. Might be something that you can buy this card cheap, grade it, get a 10 if you find one that looks good, and then be able to turn that into something else, into another card. Maybe you grade that card and then it gets a 10, and then you really move up and then just do the whole like laddering play. I think this is an excellent entry point into something like that. Number 9, we are going to get away from Temporal Forces. I know you guys are like, oh my god, finally he's done talking about the worst set in Scarlet Violet, and then the booster box is going to end up being $500 here, you know, by midsummer next year. The Twilight Masquerade Eevee illustration rare. This card is expensive. It is $70 roughly right now. There's a lot available. 77. That's a lot for Stellar Crown. We'll get into that in a future video, but let's count the Eevees, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many evolutions are there? 8? Interesting. This card kind of peaked up earlier during the crazy craze of prismatic evolutions. $104. Fell all the way down. Could have got it for $48. Now we're at 71. What's interesting is that this is the Forgotten Eevee with, you know, the non-fruit crown. There are a lot of these that are graded because it's Eevee. So obviously 10,512 and a PSA 10 for a gem rate of only 45.9%, but PSA 10s are going for $290. Now, you could, hypothetically, if you're able to find one that's a potential 10, you could make 205%. That's a pretty decent profit. You are paying a premium for this card. This is not necessarily like a buy low. It's definitely one for like people that have a little bit more money to spend and can take risks like this. This one is definitely one that I would consider. It's a very popular card. Obviously, it's going to hold its value. And to be honest, Stellar Crown Twilight Masquerade. I think I said Stellar Crown before. Twilight Masquerade. It is being printed quite a bit. For sure it is. However, I don't think this is going to end up meeting demand. I really don't. I really don't. So just something to keep in mind. And lastly, personal favorite of mine. Yes, it is Big Bad Boy Charizard. The EX number 223 out of 197 special illustration rare from Obsidian Flames. Made by Akira Egawa, my favorite artist. This card, of course, guys, you could have had at a bunch of different points. And we're going to talk about this one for a minute or two. Right now, you can buy the card for $89.98, or about $89 here, cards from Kanto. You can see that is a certified hobby shop. This guy has 0% sales, even though he has 2,000 plus. We got this card crashing in price. It just hit $126.93 on September 1st, coming back down. Not only is Akira Egawa one of the most popular artists in Pokemon at the moment, you know, outside of Shinji Kanda, this card is crazy. They also made the Paldean Fates SAR Charizard, or it's something similar, but it's the shiny version. This one is incredibly hard to grade. It just is. I don't even want to talk about the data because there are literally tens of thousands of these cards, and tens of thousands of them are 10s, just because there's that much volume of them printed. But the gem rate's around like 45, 44%, I believe. This card, probably not a grading play. But with what I'm seeing, with what I do in my business stuff, with Inferno X and some of the prices for these cards, I'd imagine this card is going to be quite the chase. And you can say, oh, well, there's so many of them out there. If you guys see where my cursor is right now, here, I'll get your attention. See where this is right here, this little G. That G is signifying that we are exiting the G block in April. The booster box for Obsidian Flames is around $331, I believe. The whole set value of Obsidian Flames is about 413 or something like that, or maybe I'm getting my numbers slightly confused. But the point is, the booster box of these are getting to the price of the whole entire set. The set is not very good. People only want this card. Anytime I see a situation like that, where it's like the booster box is so close to the price of the overall, set value, I'm just attacking this card, especially when it's only $89. I went to my local card store today. I found two of these guys. They were pretty beat up, honestly. I thought they were more lightly played than near mint, if I'm being honest. They had them listed as near mint. Just be careful when you're going out there, especially if you're going to try and grade it. This one's like pretty difficult, like I said. But this one's like a personal thing. I mean, we are talking cards that I'm personally attacking. This is by far my favorite artist. Sorry, Shinji, but too many cool cards. And this one, again, just like it's too iconic. It just really is. It's the Dark Charizard that Freed had from the Horizons anime. Just so awesome. It's Charizard. You can't really go wrong with it. It will eventually go up in price, as everything does. It doesn't matter how many of them are out there, but yeah, that's your 10 right there. I think the Gengar probably is the number one thing to attack. There's just so much potential with this card. And then number 2 by far is Raging Bolt EX. It is the top card in Temporal Forces. It is the top SAR. It has just so much potential for you guys to like be able to make money and do things with it and flip it and either take the profit or, like I said, trade it to go into something else or, a sealed product, whatever it would be. But this one for sure, like I said, with the Gengar, definitely interesting. The Arbok, very unique. If you want to be contrarian, highly recommend that. And then you really can't go wrong with Gouging Fire or Walking Wake. Iron Crown, definitely a sneaky one too. A lot of people have been grading this one, but I personally like these ones. I played Scarlet. I did not get Violet. I really like these ones. Very fun, but yeah, let me know what you guys think below. All right, so kind of a long one. Apologize for that, but it felt like it was important just to run through everything and kind of show you guys like what I'm seeing. Let's go over some of the main takeaways here. We are looking for cards specifically in sets that are not really talked about. Primarily, if you want to talk like Obsidian, you want to go for Temporal, like I did. Paradox is a good one. Anything that's running out of rotation in April of 2026 is obviously something good. Look for cards that have either a low pop rate in terms of PSA 10s, or anything that's like lower in price that you can see at like 12-month lows. The Swords of Justice Robo version and the Walking Wake, Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire, all those ones, 12-month lows. You guys can definitely attack those. Those are awesome picks. There's stuff in Twilight, there's stuff in Stellar Crown, there's stuff in Shrouded that doesn't really get talked about that you guys can definitely attack and enjoy. There's more than just like money involved in this too. If you like the artwork like I do, if you like some of the designs, if you like different aspects of the card, attack those. And then be smart whenever you have those cards. Appreciate them, enjoy them, do what you want with them, right? Don't just cast them aside. Don't spend money recklessly hoping that you get a PSA 10. Really do your homework and make sure you know exactly what you can do to get a PSA 10 if that's the route that you're going. You can use these cards that increase in value to get to where you want to go. There's 1,001 ways to play this hobby. You can do it any way that you want, as long as you're not a scumbag. That's my one thing. So I just wanted to kind of review that with everybody. It's not rocket science. You don't have to kind of like overthink it, but you just have to be smart whenever you're trying to make your decisions. Do your homework, do research, identify things that you can find in the market that you might not necessarily, think right away. Like, oh yeah, that's such an obvious play. Like the Charizard I mentioned, not an obvious play. It's just something that I personally want. I'm going to be on the lookout for. Hopefully I'm able to go and get some of these cards and show you in future videos, just so I can, kind of like do this with you guys. I'm going to go after all 10 of those cards and I'm going to get multiple of those cards just so I can, potentially grade some of them. But like I said, I'm not the best at it, but we'll get there and we'll learn. We'll do a whole thing, and you guys can probably watch me fail when I do a graded return one day. But that's it for this one. If you found the content actionable, entertaining, and enjoyable, leave a comment down below. Let me know. If you really disagree, let me know. I love the negative comments and the negative feedback. It's so great because you guys still engage with it, and I love that. But like the video, subscribe for more. Plenty of stuff coming. I'll be out of town for a couple days, but we'll have plenty of content coming soon for next week. So until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.